Welcome back to Tools and Track. Today is going to be Primera time. However, first we have a mission.
We do need to get some stuff.
We need to get some stuff, and that means committing a crime.
Do you want the tunes on? No.
Yeah, go for it. No, put tunes on if you like. I'll just dub this over anyway with your f***ing Spanish music. We are finally, gentlemen, finally working on this bloody engine. Why is it taking so long?
Because we have a car to get ready for an engine as well.
Well, yeah, we did that in the previous, but
We didn't really. We're still,
did a lot of it.
There's still a good bit to go.
But we have now got enough parts to put an engine together.
Well, basically, the bits we were waiting on piston rings. So, turns out that GE, who make pistons, don't make the rings.
No.
So they couldn't give us the rings. So after many conversations with them, I was like, well, this is going nowhere.
Yeah.
So we contacted our friends in Arizona. Total Seal piston rings, by the way, they are fantastic. So messaged them, gave them the specs.
Now we have rings.
Guy calls me, and it's like, I know exactly what they're for.
Do the accent.
I'm not doing the accent. Anyway, he, having dealt with millions of engines over the years, knew straight away what they're for. He's like, yep, we'll always custom make them a set up, and you'll have them in a week.
Amazing.
So we had them in a week.
And we do.
We
We've
actually
got
do
them.
have them. So
But we're gonna-
big shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we get to that, we need to deal with this.
This is more of a precautionary measure than anything else. This has not done that many miles since it was last refreshed.
Right.
But because we're here, we'll take cams out, take all the lifters and stuff out, but we need to do stem seals,
Yes.
which is just
to keep the oil in.
because we're not doing all this work and then not putting stem seals in it. Because
Agreed.
This had valve guides a long time ago, but not a lot of miles ago, so that'll be fine. But we're going to put better valve springs in
Alright,
because
okay.
we don't want to throw rockers about the place.
But first, let's strip. Behold, one stripped head.
Yes.
We're getting good at this. We seem to strip heads a lot. Don't seem to build many though.
No, this one will be go back together though.
Well, when you try to apply it, mine won't.
No, well, I don't know when.
It's fine. One day we'll have a head. So that was actually quite an easy task. It's been sat a while, so we've had to kind of just release all the valves a wee bit. We were struggling and couldn't get them to unseat, but after a quick chat, they seem to have done the thing. Condition-wise, looks all right, but we've also worked out that we can do some fly modifications.
Yeah.
So you be best explaining this because I'm already
Okay,
lost.
so we're doing a bit of a mix and match, right? So this engine, this uses a roller rocker cylinder head, which as you can see, has got a wee ball bearing that camshaft runs on. These have different, they do flat tappet versions as well, and roller rockers which have different valve heights and stuff, so there's a lot of work. So, but this is the best kind of compromise, so we're going to use these, and it uses hydraulic lifters, which are not fantastic. We're only revving this to like 7,000, so these will be absolutely fine for that. From a vast collection of SR bits,
Building an army of SRs. Just to reiterate, it doesn't like these engines, but has all of them.
Right, so this is the setup that this uses, which is single valve spring, this retainer here, and a single shim at the bottom just so the spring doesn't just wear through the head. Pulsar GTIR engine uses double valve spring, so that's a much better setup. These will take high RPM and boost, much happier than this. So we've done a wee mix and match here, right? So what I found out is that these shims are the exact same size this is machined already, as if it was, you know, you could put double valve springs in. So these will just drop straight in, no worries. Spring again will drop straight in. The only difference that we have to do is the pulsar retainer, they use little wash caps that go on top of the valve stem. The shim goes inside the retainer. So you go, all right, that's a bit of an issue. But what we found out is that you can actually put the double valve spring on the Primera retainer anyway. So we're going to use Primera retainer, pulsar valve springs, the shims, and there you go.
Yeah, just to reiterate, we're not revving the engine above 7,000 RPM because it's got hydraulic lifters, but now it can rev above 7,000 RPM with double valve springs, but won't rev above 7,000 RPM because we still have hydraulic lifters.
This is more for the boost though, because this is something a lot of people don't actually take into account, is that when you are forcing air into an engine, when you're trying to close the valve, the air rushing in is actually holding the valve open. So if you've got a valve that's at a certain spring pressure, by the time you take into account the boost pressure going in, it actually reduces the spring rate. So even though we are not going to be revving it above 7,000, having extra spring to account for boost pressure will stop valve flow. With these springs, I think it was 1.6 bar. When you got to about 6, 8-ish, these did start to float. Now, that's bad enough on a normal engine, but on an SR, if you start floating valves, you then lose the rocker, which then goes into the head and causes all sorts of damage. So we don't want that. We don't want that to happen. So we're just going to avoid that.
So next on the list, what we're going to do is clean the head, obviously, because it's absolutely barking. Then we're going to reseat the valves with new lapping paste so that they're all nice and fresh. They don't look bad, but they could look better. Then we will put new valve stems on with the new shim assemblies to take the double valve springs, put them back together, and that's really it. The face is really good. It's had a recent skim before when you rebuilt it the first time.
Yeah, we'll clean it up and just make sure that it's okay, but I think it's going to be fine. The only other thing we might do is we might just give these a wee dress up, just because the casting's quite...
There's some flash marks.
It's pretty rough. We're not going to go to town porting this and stuff. There's
on
no...
a turbo engine, there's always a finite amount of point in that.
But there's no need. We're not running anywhere near the power to need that. These have got quite small breathers in them. This car has already got everything fabricated. There's a dash 12 oil catch can, multiple breathers and stuff, but we obviously need these welded done so that we can obviously have EN fittings and it all looks nice. And
all in an engine he doesn't like.
I know. I don't really like it.
And he still insists this is going to blow up very, very quickly.
Oh, it probably will. The thing with these, no matter how well you build them, they'll still blow up.
Why are we building it? Whilst it may seem like we've done this step already,
We have done this step before.
this is fine paste, and also, look closely, it's been machined.
Yes. This is just, we've already done it, so there's like, you don't actually really need to do this again, but we need to clean it anyway before we put it together. So like, we'll just give it a quick once over so that we know it's perfect before we put it together.
So we're going to do this, and then we're going to jet wash it again, because whilst it has been machined, you can never fully verify all the source out until it's been battered. But don't forget, aluminium head, bit of water won't hurt it.
No, and we'll put something on the seats after anyway, so
we'll give it a wee lube up.
It's not going to rust up. It'll be fine.
And then we build it.
And we build it.
That is exciting. Finally, something that's not misery.
That's not good.
The hell is
I
that?
don't know.
Is that the crotch? No, we need, yeah, no, use the crotch. No. Show the people the crotch.
I'm not using
So,
the crotch.
bag of rags that's clearly come from who knows what third world country. I don't want to know whose ball sack has been.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll
Don't really
demonstrate it.
want that.
Look at these. Look at this. Look at the delight that is crotch rag.
It's pretty bad.
Look at the pouch. Look at the pouch.
Pretty
in that.
bad. Did you actually buy a bag of rags?
Bag of rags, yeah. What's wrong with buying a bag of rags?
I don't know. I just didn't know it was a thing.
Well, the only rags I will have is my own, like,
Yeah, which
thoroughly worn out crotch.
Definitely not
Yeah,
using.
so there you go. The question is, am I just adding that
That's
to the bag?
probably yours. It's clean.
It's clean.
Fouls are whacked.
Nice
Head
jet wash.
Cleaned.
So now we're just drying her out
Yeah.
and it's time to build.
Yeah. Basically, just let it dry and then we'll start assembling.
Try not to catch carbon monoxide poisoning. We've been going home from the unit on evenings with like strange headaches and
Bad.
this
headache.
this guy's bad.
Yeah. No,
So-
this is. You cannot use this in somewhere that's this.
I mean, this is not the biggest of spaces, despite the fact all the walls leak. But yeah, we're going to just fire that.
They
one
don't
in.
leak enough.
No, they don't.
Turns out they don't leak enough.
The
So.
doors are all open, but we're going to just leave this for 10 minutes. Like, I've been out the unit for what, a week, and this is just done.
It's done.
It's done.
So,
So skip to the end.
yeah, have a look. So
Right.
what we done with this was they got the face machined.
Yes.
What we done first was you've probably seen this.
Well, we actually did the valves coming back in. That's
Yes.
the further bit.
Yes, so it was all basically, it was stripped down, we ported inlet, exhaust, then we took it to the machine shop, got it faced, and then went to town degreasing this because it was quite gunky. It was quite gunky. So degreased it all, and then we've put the double valve springs in
Yeah. So
from GTIR.
these will be,
Plenty.
yeah.
The difference between the old single valve springs and then compressing those ones to put them in.
It was a challenge.
Aye, so they're going to be more than enough.
So one nice, marginally flowed, uprated
Yeah.
head, ready to go. So
it's
that
plenty for what this is going to do.
plenty in the tank. So therefore, in the next episode, we need to start putting the engine together, which means we need to look at the block. Now, we've got the block decked, that's great. However, there's still a lot of measurement we're going to have to do to make sure that when it goes together, it actually works. So that will involve a bit of jiggery-pokery and a lot of whiteboard. But once we've got that built up, this is ready to go on. So we're actually in quite a good place. I know this has dragged on a bit, but you need to do the groundwork before you can build an engine. So that's an important step. Once that's done, hopefully we're going to get the Primera down here and plug it all back together. Obviously we've got a ramp, Daniel doesn't, so this should expedite the process. Now, I know this is taking a while, but if you're going to build a project like this, I hope it allows you to take from this that it isn't just a 2-minute job. Even bringing something back to life and just doing an engine overhaul, you really need to do it right if it's going to last, and that means you need to take your time, measure things, and if it doesn't work, rectify it. I certainly have been in situations myself where I've thought, just put it in, what's the worst that can happen? The worst. That's what can happen. Anyway, on that sage point, like, bell, and subscribe. Those buttons at the bottom are actually crucial for me. So if you watched this and found it helpful, that's all I'm asking. However, if you do feel it offering a bit more, patreon.com/toolsandtrack, because it is actually something that helps fund all of this nonsense, and the people on there are truly awesome. So go have a look and see if it's for you. Anyway, enough waffle. Enough Primera. Next time, we're going to look at the low cost again. So until then, drive safe.
Yes.
The rings were the problem, I think, weren't
Yes, we managed to get a set of rings though from.
Well, you shut up! Go again.
We managed to get a set of rings
Right.
from. Do you want to start again from the start?